Welcome to Romance Recap. We're discussing and dissecting, reviewing and recapping romance TV short My Sexy Devil on CandyJar TV. Thank you to viewer at Sister Dre for the recommendation. I am Liz Donatelli.
And I'm Tiffany Current.
Be sure to subscribe to Reader Seeks Romance channel so that you don't miss new episodes of Romance Recap on YouTube and all podcast apps. Tiffany, before we start,
Yes.
I have to share with you a little bit of behind the scenes information about My Sexy Devil.
Do it.
I found the director on Instagram.
Okay.
And the director said this movie was made in 5 days.
Whoa, that's amazing. It's so good.
Another little FYI.
Jeez.
My Sexy Devil was filmed at the same high school as the movies The Craft and Heathers.
Oh, wow. This is exciting. I
Yes.
love this background. That's amazing. That's really cool.
And My Sexy Devil is based on a novel by Mars Mejia.
Okay. Very cool. Look, all I know is I feel like this may be the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
When I was watching it, I mean, not really, but
Okay.
I was sold on it in the first 10 seconds. 10 seconds in, I was like, this is kind of amazing. There were the acting, the intense chemistry, by the way. It was hot between the two leads was amazing. The villainous girlfriend was ridiculous. And it felt like, as you said before, all sorts of 80s and 90s movies put together in one. It was a great short. It was a great short.
I am actually really thrilled to hear that, because after I watched it, I said, I enjoyed it, but I don't know what Tiffany's going to say about this, because there were some issues here and there. So I was like, I don't know. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. Thanks again to our viewer, Sister Dre, for recommending.
It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. And I also want to mention that if you like the actress who plays Kara Acosta, the actress's name is Amanda Troyer. Amanda Troyer was also the lead in His Nerd.
Yes.
His Nerd, starring also our favorite Joseph Purcell.
Our favorite. Look, she was really good. I thought her acting was actually really good, on point. I liked him too. I think you had some issues with his acting. I thought he was really good. I thought it was the right balance. This was it for me. I just had so many good feelings about this. Maybe let's give a quick recap of what the story's about, and then we can always dive in. But this was just so much fun.
Yes. And just a quick, before we get started, the guy in this, Jason Cade, is played by Augustin de Beaumont, which almost sounds like
that's a nice name.
A character from a historical romance.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's
Augustin.
A stage name or what, but Augustin de Beaumont is Jason Cade. And again, as I mentioned off camera, he's no Joseph Purcell, but I found that he played his role very well. Very well.
A lot of nuance. There was a lot of nuance to this character.
A lot of nuance.
I appreciate it. You got deep. At first, you're like, this is going to just be on the surface movie, but no, it got deep. They got deep into things.
It did get deep.
It did. That's why it was good. I was like, wow, it felt very 80s to me. There was a lot of depth behind the characters. Quick recap of what it's about. These two people, a guy and a girl, apparently have hated each other since the 3rd grade when their parents cheated on each other together. I don't know, years later, they somehow end up having to do detention, and of course, things happen.
Right.
Main recap.
And it's interesting because I wrote down in the early scenes, the character Kara says, oh yeah, Jason Cade has hated me since 3rd grade when his dad tried to seduce my mom. But then as it went on, it was referred to as their parents having had affairs. So I don't know if there was a continuity issue with the script.
Oh, good catch.
But because I kept rewinding and I was like, but wait, she said he tried to seduce the mom, but apparently his dad and her mom had an affair.
They got together. Look, it worked for me. Let's get into it. As I said, first 10 seconds, I'm in. They're at a club. like she bumps into like this villainous girlfriend. What's her name? Sienna? I can't remember the girlfriend's name.
Sienna
Sienna?
is Jason's girlfriend, and she's just over the top awful.
But she's no, she's over the top amazing. I thought she was a great villain. It was so, look, it was amazing. Right
Yeah,
away, you could tell that Sienna hates her. And then there's Jason comes in and you could tell that they like hated each other. And then she trips, he catches her.
yeah,
And in that moment when he catches her, I was like, this is hot. Like
yeah,
them looking at each other, there was so much steam. There was so much heat for me. So much heat.
yeah. There was a lot of heat, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a spicy one.
Yes, it's spicy for high school. This is
It
high school spice.
it is. And FYI, there was also
Yeah.
an intimacy coordinator on the set because the director
Okay.
tagged the intimacy coordinator in their Instagram account. So
There had to be.
which is interesting because I did notice, as did you, that this was a more sexual. I mean,
Yes.
it wasn't full frontal nudity or anything, but it was definitely more, I mean, sexual. I mean, they were heavily
Yeah.
making out and
They
doing
were
things
heavily
out.
touching places, fingers were going in places. It was like you needed somebody there to like make sure it was okay. But
Yeah.
like I felt the tension. It is just very such a quick setup. She has an ex-boyfriend that's a jerk. He says something, I guess he grabs her, and then
Yeah.
Jason defends him by like punching the guy in the face, kind of out of the blue, quite frankly.
Yeah. You
It's
didn't
kind
see
of
it coming.
violent.
You didn't see it
Didn't see
coming.
it coming.
And at that point, I wrote down this was Jason's house party. Were they at a club or were they at Jason's house?
I think it was his house. At first, I thought it was a club too, but then he's like, "Get out of my house." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you have a nice house."
It's like,
Okay.
yeah. Well, listen, if it was only a 5-day shoot, I'm guessing that that house set or that house was
Yeah.
also somehow like in the
Oh,
school
it
or
could be
something.
a club.
It
Yeah,
was probably a
yeah,
room in
yeah,
the school that they just decorated to look like his
yeah.
house because it
It
did
was
look
like
like
a
a club.
gymnasium. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a gymnasium. That's exactly what it was. Right after this scene, I wrote, "This is the best movie I've ever watched." I don't know why. I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever watched." It was just great.
Oh my
They go to school. Is giving all kinds of jealous. She's just a crazy villain. I love her. For some reason, the principal calls him into the office and he's just like, because you punched that guy, you guys both have detention. And I'm like, but it was off campus. Like, logically speaking,
God. Yeah.
it's off campus.
Well,
I'll accept it.
what I like is that that kind of weird, plot point is
Yeah.
even addressed by Jason in the scene. He's like, but
Yes.
like this didn't happen at school. And even I
Yeah.
wrote down,
It's smart.
so Adam, Kara's ex who got punched, snitched to the principal for some
Yeah.
reason. And I wrote, does the principal have jurisdiction over something happening at a house party? And it's funny because the principal answered Jason by like saying, you go to this school, so it's like our
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
and gives them Saturday detention. Cue the song from The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Totally felt the Breakfast Club. It was very cute. I was like, Saturday detention. What's gonna happen there? It was, I accepted it. I accepted it. And
Yes.
then they leave the hallway and he breaks up with his girlfriend. And then for some reason, like
Yeah.
he sees Kara. Is it Kara or Kara?
I, to be honest, it could be Kara, and I've been saying Kara. Okay, if you think it's Kara, it's probably Kara.
I don't know. All I know is that he sees her in the hallway right when his ex-girlfriend's coming. And so he, of course, we've seen this in movies before.
Yep.
He's like, I'm gonna just kiss her to make my ex-girlfriend jealous. And in that moment, it is like an intense scene. They
Yeah.
get slammed up against the locker. We get a close-up of the hand of passion.
Yeah.
I put like, it's intense. It's intense.
I wrote supercharged chemistry. I mean, we
Yes.
established it very quickly.
Right
So
away.
what I
Hot.
want is a prequel because obviously something after third grade
Oh,
happened, maybe in
interesting.
junior high, because
Interesting.
they've got this sizzling, it's almost like
It's
unfinished business,
chemistry.
you
Yes.
know?
There had to be like a party where they did spin the bottle and they had to
Yeah.
make out and there was a moment. There had to be something.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I thought she was going to be pushing him off, like, oh, get off of me. But he kisses her, like
No.
you said, to make the ex jealous. And she not only accepts this kiss, but she doubles down on it.
She dug in. She was like, I'm gonna just go. She dug in, man. It was
Yeah.
intense. And then he drags her into the classroom. And then, like, once
Yeah.
again, I was like, first of all, where are the teachers? Where are the students? What's happening in this? Is it free period? I don't know. He
Yeah.
drags her and he's like, let's kind of pick up where we left off. And he approaches her and like pushes her back against a desk in a very sexual manner. And I'm like, geez Louise, what's happening here?
Yeah.
It was good.
Right. I honestly, this kept me guessing. At every turn, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen next. And I friggin' love that.
Yes, I love it.
Some people might say that's not good writing
Yeah.
or, filmmaking, but I was like, I am along for this ride.
It was a lot of push and pull, a lot of push and pull, a lot of like, I'm gonna like really tease you, then pull back and tease you
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like whoever wrote this knew what they were doing. They were like, we're gonna take you to the edge. We're gonna pull you back. It was a lot of teasing. Gotta give it to them. Did a great job. From there, same thing happened. Her car won't work, so he has to drive her home. Same thing happens. He puts his hand on her leg, and she's just like, I dare you to stop me. So she pulls his hand even up closer. I was like, what's about to happen here, guys? What's about to happen?
Yeah. Fingering is as far as this movie goes, I believe, because later on, like
Yes,
this was the threat of it. And then
yes,
later on, there is a full execution of it. And I felt like that is the most sexual. Well, I guess we've watched where they've had sex on Candy
yes.
Jar, but it's so closed door. This was the
It's
most open door that we've seen.
It was like, oh, it felt very much. Remember the movie Fear with like Mark
Oh my
Wahlberg and
God.
we like
Yeah.
when they go up on like I don't know, the Ferris wheel or the roller
Yes.
coaster, I can't remember, and it's the whole fingering scene. I was like, is that about to happen here?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm for it, but I was like, this is going in fast. No
It,
pun, but it was like it was going in fast. It was
it
just
was
like
going
it
into
was,
it
geez
was.
Louise. It was
Yes.
intense.
So after he drives her home, then the next
Yeah.
scene is them at detention. And and
Yes.
they're cleaning up an old theater room, I believe,
I don't
which
know what it is. A
which leads
set?
to
A
which leads
set,
to a
basically?
dress up montage.
I love a montage theme. I think that's the common theme we see in all Candy Jar films, is there will always be a montage of some sort of clothing. And it was fun. And they end by wearing Grease costumes. Like,
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
put
why
down
did
an ode to Grease. Yes, I
an
thought that
ode
was
to
kind of cute.
Grease?
Yeah,
It was very cute. I think they almost kiss again.
almost kiss.
But the principal, who I'm enjoying, usually these little
Yes.
side, like official characters are kind of annoying. He's very entertaining. I like the principal. He's
Yeah.
funny.
I'll be honest, I got a vibe that he knew that they were making out and he came by just to check them out. Not to reprimand them, but I think he wanted to
Yeah.
watch.
Oh, you want to watch? He's like,
I
oh,
think
I'm
he
that
was a
kind of
little
principal.
pervy, I have to say.
I feel like he probably put a video camera in that room, and that's he's like, go clean up that Halloween room. You go in there,
Yeah,
take your time,
I think you might be right.
put on all those clothing, undress.
Now I've noticed like the song during the montage and other songs during the
Yeah.
television series, none of them were very meta. None of them, I don't
They
think,
were not meta. They weren't not
yeah.
this time. It was a different sort of vibe. I was listening to. I'm like, are they gonna have like a song that's directly on the nose? They were not. It felt very like 90s Britney Spears music. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it though. The music was still good. Either way, it ends with him like inviting her over to lasagna because she's like, my dad doesn't cook for me, and so he
Yeah.
invites her over. It was very cute. This is like when we're kind of getting deeper, learning more about them. They're bonding over the divorce. It's
Yes.
cute.
Yes, I love that forced proximity trope where two people are thrown together, and in
Yeah.
this case, it's detention. So, one quick note before we move on: as they're getting undressed and getting back into their regular clothes after the montage, you get a look at
Yeah.
Jason Cade's abs, and
10 pack, 12 pack,
dude,
16 pack, whatever it was, he was
yeah,
packing a lot. Yeah.
dude's ripped. Now that he invites her over to dinner and she's at his house, cue the 16 Candles music because that scene of them sitting
Legit.
atop the dining room
Sitting on
table.
top, yes, eating food. I'm like, this is just like the ending of 16 Candles. It was so
Yep,
cute.
yep.
It was so
Instead of
cute.
cake, she's scarfing down lasagna
Lasagna.
as if she's never like seen the food before.
She's never eaten before. Apparently, her dad does not feed her. That's what we learned in the scene. He does not feed
Well,
her.
for a brief moment, I almost
There's
like
no food
rewound it.
allowance.
I was like, is she living like in a car with her dad or something? Like, no, I really thought that maybe she was unhoused. I was like, maybe
Is
she,
she homeless?
like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening. Okay,
No, that's funny.
in this scene, I wrote down a line that made me laugh that I thought this actor, Augustin
Yeah.
de Beaumont, really nailed was at some point,
Yeah.
Kara says to Jason, I don't know what it was. Oh, I think they were talking about Adam, and he said about Adam, the ex being a jerk. And she's like, you
Yeah.
were right. And he's like, calm down with the dirty talk, Acosta. And I was like, that was a great line, well delivered,
Yeah.
and it earned a chuckle from me.
Oh, good for you.
I just thought you
Gotta
should know
laugh.
that.
Gotta laugh. That's a
Yeah.
point. That's a point for him. It was good. We learned more about him. We learned about the fact that he broke up because his ex-girlfriend was too controlling. Apparently,
Yeah.
she wanted his passwords. I don't know what's happening in all these themes. I don't know what's happening in high school nowadays, but apparently people are crazy. Um, but as a
Yeah.
result, she offers like, I'll help you with Sienna. I'll help you. We'll pretend, of course, the typical thing. We'll pretend to be dating.
Yeah.
The typical thing. I love that.
Yeah. I wrote down here at this point, I believe they were still sitting atop the dining room table, and I wrote gets deep, and he talks about abuse from his dad. And
Yes.
because I think Cara makes the connection that, oh, you're attracted to abusive Sienna because you
Yeah,
endured
your
abuse from your
father.
dad. And they have this really intimate moment and they kiss. I don't know if they kiss for the second time or I don't know, the millionth time.
I
I don't
remember.
remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they did kiss. And I was like, okay, like we're establishing intimacy quickly, but at the same time, I'm totally buying into it.
I bought into it completely too. Like the way they were bonding over their shared trauma as they do in all in all these
Yeah.
movies. I believed it. And I liked that she was able to say this is the reason this is happening. And he appreciated that as well. And he was just kind. It wasn't one of those like, I'm a jock and I'm mean. He was being very kind. He's just like,
Yes.
Your ex-boyfriend should be treating you better, and I'm gonna do better than lasagna if I'm taking you on a date." He
Yeah.
was a gentleman. He was a jock and a gentleman. I like seeing those little
Ooh.
differences there. It was cute.
That's a great title for a future candy jar. The jock and the gentleman, but they're
The jock,
one, or that could be a
or it could be like
male-male
a gay
romance, a gay
romance. Yeah, it
romance,
could be a gay
or
romance. Yeah.
the jock and the gentleman is just a great
I
title.
like that. That is a good title. Thank you.
That's your
Let's
you
someone
need
should
to
take
write it.
note. We're not gonna write it, but somebody
You
else should
should
take note
write
and write
it.
that.
You
The
have
jock and the
written before. You
that
are a
is
writer.
true.
You're a published
That is
author.
true. That let's move on. They go back to school, and for some reason, I don't know what it is with all these exes. I don't know what's happening with all the exes in this movie, but her
Yeah.
ex, Adam, is like, "You're a hoe," screaming down the hallway. Okay. And Jason stands up for her and he's about to again punch him, but
Yeah.
she stops him and says, like, "I don't want you to get kicked out of school. Calm down."
Yeah.
And it was just like it was very sweet.
It was. It was. I think I might be missing notes because the next note I have is Cara wears his jersey to keep Sienna away. Pouring water over his face in game was gratuitous.
Yes.
So I don't know where this falls. I know you're doing
Yes.
it
No, no, that's
correctly, like
correct. No, that's
chronologically.
correct.
I don't know. Is that next or is
More
that
or less that happens next. They have another
okay?
Saturday detention, but then that does happen. And I wrote the same thing. I'm like, pours water on his head. Like, why are we getting this shot of the slow-mo? It was like of him. First of all, there's only one football player on the field, which is just him. If you notice that, there's only one player.
They couldn't afford enough
Couldn't
costumes
afford.
for the
And it's
production.
just
Five
like
days. It's only 5 days.
5 days. We get one football player, and it's him, and he's pouring
Yeah.
water on himself. It was just very funny. And at this time, Sienna sneaks away and she reads his text because she has the password to his phone, and she discovers that their parents had an affair. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use this later," which is really strange. I really liked Sienna. I liked how she acted in this movie. I liked how crazy her character was. I liked her.
The actress who plays Sienna,
Yeah.
she is a fantastic actress because I hated her character of Sienna. So that
Yes.
means that she did a really great
She did a
job.
great job.
And I thought it was of note, as you would say, it's of note that they focus a few seconds on the lock screen on his phone. And
Yes.
there is a note, or I don't know, says, "My son will
Yes.
be a successful man, signed by a blessed mom." And I'm like, was that just a graphic he found, or did the mom write it on his phone? Like, what's, I
It
don't
was
know.
very strange. I saw that too. It was close up. It was like fully white screen text. I'm like, why are
Yes.
they showing this close? Is this like a dedication to somebody who wrote this? I don't
Yeah.
know. It was strange. It was strange.
It was because he
Fine.
doesn't really talk that much about his relationship with his mom. I mean,
No,
he's
he doesn't.
estranged from the dad, but not from his
Yeah.
mom. So I don't know what that was about.
I, I think that's probably like the scene they had to cut out because we only have an hour. They're like, we have an hour. We got to cut out the mom. There's no time for
We're
parents.
losing daylight. We have to wrap this up.
We have 5 days. Go faster. We go back to them. It's Halloween. She's dressed as an angel. He's dressed as a devil, of
Yep.
course.
Yes.
And this is when the hotness happens. They sneak into the haunted house and like they go in this moment.
Oh,
They go
yes,
in making
they do.
out.
First of first of all, I was wondering, like, was this scene written by the author and or the screenwriter,
Oh,
just
interesting.
to justify the title? Like, when you have a good name for a title, like, how do I though make it work?
Yes.
So I don't
Yes.
know if this haunted house
This is it.
scene was this. So he's dressed in like a red, it was almost like from the 80s, right? Like red
Yeah,
leather
yeah, yeah.
pants, like
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Jackson from Thriller,
Yeah, it was fun.
and like a red netted, cut off shirt. And yeah, they first of all, he gets scared at first, because I guess he gets scared at haunted houses.
Yeah.
They find a spot in the haunted house which is built in, or I don't know, the gymnasium in the
In the gym
school,
somewhere. Yeah.
and they make out heavily, and
Heavily.
he's doing things to her, and we don't realize until afterwards, when they come out, that he had fingered her. Like, I
But I
didn't
will say
realize. Yeah,
that
yeah.
in that specific moment, I think they hinted at it because what I'm also noticing with candy
Okay.
jars, there's a lot of consent
There is
because
a lot.
they're like it's really really intense. I was like,
Yes.
geez, Louise, what's about to happen? I'm put like,
Yeah.
so is he about to finger her? That's what else
Yeah.
I was like, I was so surprised. Because it's high school. But like
Yeah.
his hands on her leg, and then he says like more or less, may I? Can I? And she's like, and she nods. He's just like, no, I need you to say it. And I was like, well, they're going in on this
Yeah.
consent here. And
Yeah. That's
she
good.
said it, and then like, sure enough, we see his hand slide in. And
Yeah.
then cut to the next scene where it's revealed that he
Yeah.
fingered her.
I think what I thought he was going down on her with his mouth. I
Oh, I
think
didn't think
that's
that at
why I was
all.
like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. And then when he came out and said, when I think a friend said, "Oh, you were getting fingered in the haunted house," I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what
You're
happened."
like, that's what it was. I know something sexual happened. I'm not sure what.
What it
It was
was. Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. Like I don't know if it's now or later, but basically they're back at school and he ends up getting the travel grant. She's very upset about it because she wanted the grant for her dancing booster team. Cut to her in the gymnasium doing a Save the Last Dance type dance on stage,
That was it.
right?
I could not save the last dance. Yes. That is with Julia Stiles.
Yes, with Julia
Yeah.
Stiles. Yes.
You brought up a good
I
point. We
loved it.
forgot to mention that, like, the B story is that they're both competing. She for the cheerleaders,
Yeah.
which you never see her doing any cheerleading, just dancing in this
Mm-mm.
one scene. And then him on the football team, and they're competing for this grant. And the football team always gets it. And again, he got it this year, but he tries to help the
Yeah.
cheerleaders, the cheerleading
Later
squad.
on.
Yeah, right,
Later
right.
on. Either way, that was very funny, the dance scene. I was like, okay. Uh
And it went on for quite a while.
it went on for a long time, and then we
Yeah.
move on to them playing Never Have I Ever. And then of course we find out that she's a virgin because that's a typical thing that we see in all these films. She's a
Yes, yes, we
virgin.
do.
He's shocked.
Yeah.
And then she says, Never have I ever fallen for someone I hate. And of course they do the whole like it's revealed they both like each other. It's very cute.
Playing Never Have I Ever, first of all, has always and will always confuse me. But I thought it was such a great way for them to be vulnerable without having to be
Hmm.
so direct, I really like that scene a lot. I thought it was
It
creative.
was cute.
And they were sitting in tents that they made in school. I don't know, in the
I
room
don't
where they have
know.
detention or
Yeah.
something.
They have a
Yeah.
lot of props in this room. There's a lot of props in this room. I don't know what it is, but
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure the whole movie was filmed in this one room. I'm pretty sure.
It could have been. Either way, he leaves for a moment. There's a fake text sent from his ex-girlfriend that's like, it was great to see you last week. So of course the girl gets upset. And what's so hilarious about this scene is that she runs off, he comes back, and like immediately Sienna shows up out of the blue.
At his
Very
house,
fatal
right?
at his house, very fatal attraction. And she's just like, you better get back together, or else I'm gonna tell people that your parents had an affair. And I was like, okay, fine.
You would think that the first question out of his mouth is, "What are you doing here? I'm calling the cops."
What do you She was in his house, like in his face.
Yeah.
It was so like, bunny rabbit in the pot. It was very strange.
Yes. That fatal attraction for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
and it's like, are you like, is he that amazing? Like I don't know, but it was intense.
I mean,
So
he's
yeah.
super cute, got the abs for days, but her obsession of like I wanted a little bit of background on why she's so obsessed with
Yeah.
him. But again, this was a mustache twirling villain, which is
Yes.
typical of CandyJar. But
Yes,
I
there's
don't know,
no time.
I felt like Sienna deserved a little bit more of meat to her
Maybe she'll get
character.
her own movie. Maybe that's also in the prequel.
Oh,
We'll
maybe.
learn something there. But so she blackmails him into dating. Of course, the other girl gets upset.
Yeah.
And for some reason he goes up on stage again at school
Yeah.
to, I don't know, accept the speech or something for this travel thing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
decides to instead promote her by doing a Magic Mike dance.
Yep.
Randomly, out of the blue, he's like, I'm gonna start like dancing sexy, taking off my shirt to, I guess, help them raise money for this
It's
travel thing. It was really strange.
it's so convoluted and kind of like I spent time unpacking this. And so Jason goes up on stage to accept the
Funny.
travel what is it? The scholarship, whatever.
Yeah.
So the football team could travel. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he does this choreographed dance that I
With
think
his
she
with his team.
does.
Yeah.
But like with
I
his
don't
team,
know.
I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing what she did because his whole thing was, oh, Kara, you could come up and show them how it's
Show me how it's
really
done.
done.
But I'm like, you're doing a great job though. Actually,
Actually, they
you
were
did a
doing a good job. And
great
then he
job.
pulls up his shirt and put it over his head and is dancing sexily. And then, like, I was just like, okay. Like,
I didn't get it.
and the principal does nothing to stop any of this. I
He
mean,
does
this is
nothing.
just,
He's like, it's fine. It's fine. This is what
yeah,
happens as long as you're not having sex. For some reason, Sienna runs up on stage and takes this moment to announce their parents had an affair. She's a homewrecker. I'm thinking, well, really, what's the big deal? Who cares? Fine. Fine.
right. Yeah, I didn't understand why that was the worst thing that could,
Not a big deal.
that you could do.
Not a big deal. She's super embarrassed. She runs out and he's just like, I'm sorry, she was blackmailing me. And I'm thinking, like, you need to go to the police. This girl is crazy. She's crazy.
Well, you are you are you're right on. You're absolutely right. So that's why you really have you have to really buy into the fact that, oh my God, they're in high
Funny.
school. They don't know what to do. They're trying to deal with things themselves and not get adults involved. Like you have to kind of believe
You have
that,
to
I guess.
like let it go because it
Yeah.
was just so
It's like you
crazy.
should just call the cops. She basically broke into your house, dude. Like you could legit have her brought up
Yes,
on charges.
arrested.
The end falls apart. I have to say, I really feel like the
Really?
plot
I don't
was
know.
holding on for dear life at the end. But again, this was only 5 days, man. Oh my
Somebody
God.
gets wrapped up so quickly because like right after the scene, it more or less ends. It was super funny.
Well,
Um,
yeah, because like
it was really funny.
she felt like everything that had happened. Kara felt like with everything that had happened, it just meant she and Jason should not be together. And what changes her mind is he shows her an old video of them at that third grade
At the
spelling bee,
spelling bee,
which
it's a
is
throwback to an
mentioned
earlier
early
conversation.
on,
Yeah.
yeah. And shows how they cared for each other because she won, but I think she was sharing the flowers she received with him.
Mm.
And he says, you see, we're not like our parents. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. So now everything's good. And I don't know, they
And
kiss probably.
they
I
say
don't
they're
know.
following love. They're following love, and then you see them again at Saturday detention. I'm like, again? Like how much longer? is this detention going on for?
Okay.
And that's, oh, is that when they said I love you and I want to grow up with you and they like start making out?
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
that's all. I think it all
Is
happens
that
at
it?
detention. Yeah, yeah.
At detention. And of course, the principal walks in again, or like he comes up on them. I don't remember. He interrupts them again. It was just
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah. No, it was,
Ugh,
yeah, and it was
hilarious.
it was super, super entertaining.
It was very entertaining.
Do you have anything else to add?
That's it. It was just a good movie, very funny. I forgot how like thrown together the ending was, so it was kind of ridiculous. But I was like, all right, I accepted. It was just a nice, like, bite-sized short film.
I agree. Another success from CandyJar TV. Well, that's all we got for you. Tune in next time when we crack open the candy jar to discuss another sinfully sweet romance short on Romance Recap.